Hey all, Board Game Rancer, we'll find everything solo tabletop gaming and more. We're going to do things a little differently this time, a little more laid back. I'm sitting down. Feels weird. MVP show for the March 2021 time frame coming up. So thanks for joining me. I'm going to try out a little bit more, just a different format. I don't know. Might stick with it, might not. It feels weird to be sitting down, quite frankly, but actually with this table that I have, and I'm right here, it sits, there's the recessed thing going for it. And I kind of realized how often I typically stand up, even playing board games. I don't know. These sprawling games nowadays, you tend to just need more room to, get everywhere. And rather than bending here and all over the place, it's just easier to kind of walk around. So I've gotten used to sitting because of the recessed nature of this table. It's just like, it's a much more of a bend. So I don't know. I figured I would just do it this way here, the show. We'll see how it goes. Getting right into it, we had 49 plays of across 8 different games. And I played a lot of, just got some good old-fashioned games out just to see how they kind of looked on the table, and I've just been enjoying the heck out of like I mentioned, like a kid in a candy store. I just want to try all the flavors, see what does this look like, what is this, how does this fit on there? Ridiculous, childish, such is my nature, but. Like right now, right here, I have sprawled out. You can't see it, and I'll probably talk more about it, maybe later. But Mage Knight got the Ultimate Edition, and I was able to sell my previous. I had everything previously, except for I was missing a couple cards, but I was made do. Actually, I bought Mage Knight, the original game. Back when you used to buy games just because you'd walk into a game store and something new would come out, and you'd kind of look at it. And I remember. I had some other game in mind that I picked up, and I remember seeing Mage Knight, and I just kind of looked at it, and it's like, this looks pretty good. But it looked like, back then, I mean, who knew? It just looked like any other game. I mean, it didn't look like any other game, I should say. Just like a fantasy adventure game, and it looked pretty spiffy. And I believe I knew Vladislav Fatel back then, the designer, but anyway, yeah, I mean, no, there was no Kickstarter back then. It was, I think, 2011 around then, and turns out ended up being my favorite game ever, and so I have that out right now, and just skipping right through, just a light game of Mage Knight, yeah. But what else did I get to the table? So that's actually more this month. In February, I pulled out Eldritch Horror. Now, Eldritch Horror is I don't know why. I mean, I side on wanting to get rid of that game, and then every single time I talk myself out of it, because it's just friggin', it's an awesome game. It destroys me though. I mean, and it doesn't even it's not even nice about it. Now, I don't mind losing games, but Eldritch Horror just slaughters me every time. And I like why do I even put up with this playing that game? But then I remember why, and it's a beautiful game. It's a beautifully designed game. You can play it solo. You can play it. Usually got to play it with 2 characters, because solo is just, oh my gosh, play with 1 character. You might as well. I don't even know why you're trying. 2 characters at least seem to have a shot. But anyway, I got 2 games of that in where I lost 2 times horrifically. So Gaia Project. That is another one of my favorite games of all time, solo games. And Gaia Project, 4 plays into that. Just wanted to, again, see. I was just, these games that I say are like my number one. Yeah, Gaia Project was my number 1 solo game of 2018. And every time I just pull that game out and play it again, it just confirms it. So just everything I like about a meaty Euro sci-fi, track technology developing. The mechanics are out of the sight, out of this world, out of sight. You're not supposed to combine those 2 phrases. Anyway, excellent. Gaia Project, 4 plays of that in. Carrion, another one. Now, Carrion made my top 10 list, I want to say a couple years ago. solo. When the Dalgard's Academy came out, and I picked up Carrion, the base game, well before I could see that the Kickstarter was supposed to deliver on Dalgard's Academy, and I picked it up many, many months early because the Kickstarter was very, very, very late until I was able to get it. But I was able to get it, and it is, yeah, obnoxiously heavy game. And you really gotta, I mean, it just, as I was reading through that, the rules and stuff, I mean, good gravy. I was asking myself, I was like, Jesus, I've played this before, right? Why does this all seem like just a foreign language? It's, yeah, but excellent. Excellent game. Carrion, 4 plays of that, well, with Dalgard's Academy playing it solo. Cloudspire, another one I hadn't played in a long time. Another one that made top 10 a couple years ago, I want to say. I hadn't played, I think, in over a year, but I'm expecting some Cloudspire Kickstarter stuff to show up sometime. I don't know if I'm expecting it. It's just, it'll be here when it gets here, like all Kickstarter stuff is. And got 9 plays of that in. I really started digging into that. I wanted to just go through all the campaign stuff again, and I was getting there. I was into I was into the 3rd faction there. I played Brannon, then I think you play Heirs. Then I was just starting to play, was it the Grove Tenders, or I don't remember exactly. But then I had ordered a game that was a Kickstarter thing for, and I was just hearing some people seemed to like, some people liked it. So, and that's Post-Human Saga, and or there's Kickstarter for it. I think it's over now, but for new stuff, and it looked cool, and I had all sorts of qualms about it. Turns out I should have stuck with my reservations there, but I picked it up. I played it 6 times. It would be really the most disappointing game that I played this past month. And I since sold it for barely, anything on eBay, but at least, it's a big box. I got it out of here. I did a full review on that, so you might check that out. But I tucked Cloudspire away, I think, as I got that. And then I had kind of this little interim, and I busted out Spirit Island. Spirit Island, my nemesis. I did I think I talked about that last month because I picked up Jagged Earth. And what I found out, what I really found out about this game, I just I'm just going to start from scratch. And I did. And I just played base Spirit Island. But, it's pretty cool. I mean, there's just so many variations of this game. But in the official variations, you can play many of the new spirits with just the base stuff. And so I did. And I got 4 plays in before I put it away again, not because I wasn't enjoying it, but because I just had new stuff coming. And I found out that, that game is, I really like that game. And while it gets too much for me on the heavy side, and it's one of the few games that just gets my AP rocking, and I don't like it. I don't like just sitting there and just like with Mage Knight, I know a lot of people have that issue, and I don't with Mage Knight. I mean, I can get to sit there and thinking, but it's like a delicious feeling. And with Spirit Island, it hurts in a way that I just don't. It's not delicious. It's not appetizing at all. But I found that just playing base Spirit Island, those spirits are just, those are magnificent pieces of work. Each spirit is like, oh man, and like Dwellings of Eldervale, which I'll get into in a second, but that has different factions and and they have their asymmetrical things. But there's just some games, that a lot of games say that they got asymmetrical things that you start with, but there's these games that do it to a level that blows away other games. Spirit Island is one of those. Root, of course, would be one of those. Gaia Project, even with its different factions and different asymmetrical stuff, they just do it so well. And Spirit Island, all the different spirits, nothing like it. I mean, that is, and really when I play it just at its base level, the AP doesn't take over, and I can just sit and enjoy this awesome game. And I really did. And so I found out, Spirit Island, as much flack as I've given it, I've realized there's really nothing wrong with the game. the only you know what's wrong with Spirit Island? Me. I'm what's wrong with Spirit Island. But I've experienced this too with Hoplomachus. Like Hoplomachus, I have all things Hoplomachus, which is a chip theory game, and chips, battle, gladiator stuff, and tactile, not tactile, but tactical play. And I found that I just like, there's all sorts of ways to play it solo, but I found, all the complicated ways and stuff, I found that I just like the most simplest way. The very first way it was introduced to play solo is what I just keep falling back on. It's what I like the most. Even though I like heavier stuff, that game, for whatever reason, the base way to play solo is just what I'm looking for. Not all the other extra fluff. Other games, I want all the extra stuff, but Hoplomachus was that way, and it turns out Spirit Island's that way. So, and maybe sometimes I'll feel like throwing in those extra tokens and stuff and the event deck and all that. At this point, I'm just not, and I'm quite happy with base Spirit Island and using some of these cooler spirits. And like, man, the last spirit I played was just crazy awesome. You could build, you could construct this spirit, and you could determine like how you wanted to, during the growth phase, that was part of the process of developing the spirit, was like really going in a direction. And instead of just having a spirit that I can't remember what it was called, but instead of just having a spirit that was, designed to just basically work a certain way, this one allowed you to build it. Crazy. Anyway, so hats off to Spirit Island. Moving on though. So the two newer games there that I picked up and was playing, Dwellings of Eldervale. And so won't talk too much about this because I just did a full review on this like a day ago. So go ahead and check that out. Turns out, just to give you, I enjoyed it, and I am selling it. So there's, if you want to know more about that little conundrum, that is there for you to check out. Bloodborne, the board game, takes over the MVP spot. This was a game I played 13 times, and I played it 4 times with my son. And I dare say that I like it maybe better 2-player. I still love it solo. Oh man, it's so worth it solo. But I don't know. I think I just get a kick out of my son, who's so into video games, and is just awesome. He plays Bloodborne, and he just got into this. I just rarely play a game with him or my family or anybody, and they're just like, when are we gonna play that again? And this one was one of those games, and it is just a blast, this game. And I did a full review on that, so you might check that out. But that would be, that's going to fall in that category of you're going to make the top. It's literally the first game I feel like this year that'll make that I can't imagine it not making the top 10 of 2021. Just fantastic game, solid pace. Not too long. It doesn't outstay its welcome, and you've got these stories you play through, but you can also, if you you can see it's right there. You got the Chalice Dungeon, and I think I have another expansion coming, I'm hoping, that just opens up more and more stuff. I didn't really go for the expansions that offered more stories. The stories are cool, and the board, the game itself comes with 4 stories. There's 3 chapters. Each chapter is a game, so it's basically 12 games of this campaign thing, but you can just replay it if you want. You're probably gonna have to. Sometimes though, if there's anything to be said about the games, that I have found that it can be. There's certain times where just all the tiles fall perfect and you slash through everything, and then other times where it's just all but impossible to get through it. But but if you link the game to that, the frustration I experienced playing this video game. I played it one day for a number of hours, and it just makes me want to just break stuff, and because it's unfair. And so when the game, I play a particular game of the board game Bloodborne, it doesn't irk me at all. It's still a blast while it's unfair, and then I just reset it and play it all over again. It doesn't even take that long to reset. So that was Bloodborne. And that was, that wraps up the gaming that I did for all of February. What do I got in the works? Well, Roman Roll, that has, I think there's a little Kickstarter thing going on right now with that, and David Turchy, Nick Shaw. I've tended to stay away from David Turchy games just because just the games that he designs, aside from like Anachrony, kind of by himself-ish, I've just not liked all that much. And so, yeah, so I've just kind of stayed away from, there's a number of them and that are out there that I've taken a look at, and maybe we'll pick up if I can get it at a reasonable cost. But this one was, pretty reasonable, and I haven't really experienced a heavy roll and write game. So Roman Roll, looking forward to that. Comes with this, solo mode, David Turchy style. So I'm pretty excited to try that one out. And I was thinking of getting, I was tossing around getting Viscounts of the West Kingdom. I have Paladins of the, well, can you see it? Right here. Paladins of the West Kingdom. And I've been meaning to do a review on it, but it's just, I never did. And then I think Mike at Co-op or One Stop Shop did a review on it recently, and it was kind of, expressing his kind of frustrations and feeling about it. But he really liked Viscounts of the West Kingdom, or Viscounts, whatever, however you say it. And so I might give that a shot, because Paladins was, something, but I couldn't get myself to do a review on it. And but Viscounts, I might be looking to pick up something like that. Anything else? Well, not really. I hope I've had some comments. Some people have mentioned just some stuff with the world going and being the way it is these days. It's just everything seems very volatile. And there's been channels even within gaming that have had to switch their names or move different directions, kind of being chased out by just a lot of the polarization. And this is a crazy time we live in, and I just don't, what I found, I kind of gave it some thought, and I really just don't want to get into it. It's not why I'm here. It's not what I'm trying to do. And I can say, just for myself, all I can do is speak for myself safely. And or I don't want to say safely, but just, with any conviction. I'm the only one that can know me, right? But there's a lot to learn of this world, and there will always be, it'll never end. And what I do to help keep myself, as sane as possible, given all these times, is education. Just education, an open mind on all things towards all people. And I'm pretty critical. This is Board Game Rants. I'm pretty opinionated on stuff, but I do not judge people's characters. You will not hear me calling anyone out by name, or not unless I have something friendly to say. But and so for all, as I know, it can seem a little abrasive sometimes, and maybe it takes people back a little bit, or they're a little leery to maybe reach out. But again, I'm not going to judge anyone's character. You can't know. My own mother doesn't know who I am. So how can I, right? So, I don't feel right trying to guess the character of anyone, or wish any harm upon them, or celebrate anyone's demise. What I find that I enjoy doing is just exposing myself to all things and all sides. There's value in all of it. And I don't pretend to psych myself out thinking that I know the right way. It's just a way. It's my way. And it's all based on what I know and one person's experience, my own. And so when I watch these things, I do my best to, try to remember I've got this view. It's very biased according to my own experiences. That's all I can develop my views on. But there's 7 point something billion different experiences, people out there with their own views and values, just as valid as mine. And keeping that in mind, It helps keep me sane. And I look to find something balanced, something in the middle, something centered, right? When's the last time you ever heard someone go, oh, you're, this person's too balanced, they're way too centered, right? Said no one ever. It's what we all strive for. So looking for that mutual benefit, looking for that win-win. And it all boils down to just being compassionate and understanding we're all human. We all deserve dignity. Anyway, I'm just some fucking dude on YouTube, all right? Plays board games by himself. What do I know? Thank you, though, for joining me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying your time gaming as much as I have been. And I will catch you all next month. Until then, I'm Board Gamer. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm out.